Welcome back to Speak Up Queen, the podcast where we empower, uplift, and celebrate women who have reclaimed their voices to inspire others. Today, we are thrilled to introduce the inspiring Jade, a beacon of resilience, strength, and empowerment. Jade has dedicated her life to helping women navigate life challenges, reclaim their voices, and step boldly into their purpose. Her personal story is one of perseverance and transformation, and through her journey, Jada has become a passionate advocate for personal growth and self discovery. She believes in the power of women to rise above adversity and create lives filled with meaning, joy, and impact. Join us as we dive into Jay's incredible story, uncover the unique insights, and celebrate the powerful message she brings to Speak Up Queen. Get ready to feel inspired and uplifted as we welcome Jade Lawrence to the show. Welcome, Jade.
Hi, thank you for so much for having me, Marika.
Jade, what does healing mean to you, and how has your journey toward it shaped the woman that you are today?
Okay, so for me, healing is working through the issues or the situations that I have been through and coming out with positiveness in terms of coming out, knowing that whatever it is I've gone through, it didn't define me, but it made me a better person of who I am today. And I am healed from my past situations, not because, I needed to. We just need to get healed when something happens, but because there's also something to learn from the past situations. And because of that, I see where it's important for me to grow. If it is that we're not healed, we stay stagnant in a situation or in a place where we don't want to be. So I have learned to grow and I've learned to be resilient and overcome things by working through it, by counseling and even self-discovery. And that's how I'm the person I am today because of healing.
I love it because sometimes we can stay stuck in that, oh, but this and this happened to me. And you
Mm-hmm.
stay stuck and you're blaming everyone else
Mm-hmm.
when you are not starting your healing, because healing is also growth. It is
Yes.
and it's taking responsibility for
Mm-hmm.
everything that have happened to you. I think sometimes
Mm-hmm.
it's so easy to blame someone else
Yes.
for your circumstances than saying, you know what? Some people will never change. The people that have hurt us or abused us, some of them won't never change. Some
Right.
they
Mm-hmm.
won't change. So it's better to forgive them and let them go. Um,
Yes.
so yeah, it's definitely that, like you said, it is growing and is moving forward from your past and learning from it. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I love the way
And
that.
we have to remember too that healing is not just for the person, it's for ourselves too. If we don't heal ourselves, we can't grow. So we also have to forgive them and ourselves. It's most importantly for us. So we have to forgive ourselves and learn to grow. Hmm.
Can you share a moment when you chose self-discovery over self-doubt and what you learned about yourself?
Okay, so for me, my self-discovery and self-doubt happened after my separation and divorce, right? So with that, I had to rediscover who I was. Who is Jade? What do I love? Um, what about myself that I allowed to fall short? I also had to also this figure out what is it that went wrong that I did wrong also that caused the problems. Self-doubt happened because I wasn't sure of myself. When it is that you're in a marriage, when you're in a situation like that, you spend so much time with someone. Sometimes you lose yourself and you start to doubt, did I do something? Was I not good enough? Etc. So with self-discovery for me, it was important to sit with myself for a time, sit and be alone and isolate myself and try to figure out, okay, um, how can I grow from this? Who am I? Let me figure this out. Let me figure what I like now. Let me figure out, okay, how can I transform and be better? A better version of who I am, better version of myself, even coming from such a situation like this. So doing that, I had to overcome self-doubt, where, instead of thinking that I am not enough, I think that I am enough. I probably wasn't given the space to be enough at that time, or I didn't give myself the credit to be enough at that time. So I had to overcome those hurdles in my mind and even in the space that I was physically. And those things helped me to be resilient and helped me to grow. Right.
Wow. What's one life challenge that made you stronger and how did it lead to personal growth?
The one life challenge, as I said earlier, would be my divorce. That had led to a lot of challenges. And self-growth. I've become a better person because of it. Sometimes I would say, the marriage had a lot of difficulties in it, but do I regret being married? No. I'll never regret that experience because that experience propelled me to be who I am today. And I have learned, I have grown. I would not have been the Jade that people know today if it wasn't for that marriage that I've encountered. So, not because you're in a situation means you have to become a victim of it. Not because you're in a situation like that doesn't mean that you have to sit down now and self-sabotage yourself all the time because of it. It means that, okay, I was in it and I can now grow from it. And doing that helps to propel you and to push you into the purpose and the alignment that God has for you. And that's just what I've been doing. And that's where the growth has taken place. In my discovering of who I am and in my understanding and in my standing with myself and sitting with myself and doing introspection, I've learned to grow and be better.
Wow. Women are often seen as nurturers. How do you
Mhm.
balance nurturing others while ensuring your growth and well-being?
Yeah, I'm having a struggle. So even as a mom, I find that I invest my time and self. I'm a mom and a wife now, so I'm remarried. So I invest time in my child, in my husband, in every other thing, nurturing everybody that sometimes I forget about myself. And self-care is important to nurture ourselves and to have us to grow. So sometimes what I do is to take a step back. And even if it is that the only time I get is to stay in that shower for 5 more minutes, I am going to do that. Even if it is a moment of me just being in the bathroom and locking up myself and getting a 10 minutes free, I'm going to do that. And for me, that is self care. Because no matter how small it is, we have to implement that so that we can be the best versions of ourselves. Just not even just for us, but for everybody who we have to cater to and take care of because a child didn't ask to be here, right? And for that, we have to give our children the best of ourselves, and we can't do that if we're not taken care of. So we have to implement any amount of time for self-care.
And yeah, like you said, 5 minutes in the bathroom or an hour exercising because I didn't also have time boundaries last year when I started this podcast. I didn't even know about a boundary that was called time boundaries because I
Yes.
was working 3:30 till 10:30 at night, 6 hours maximum sleep. I gained 6 kilos in that 6 weeks because
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have enough sleep.
Yes.
And this year I was like, nope. That's why I was late this morning for this interview because I someone didn't show up at 4 and I was just, you know what? I'm going to go back to bed, rest my body for 35
Mm-hmm.
minutes more, and it
Mm-hmm.
was a little bit more. But that's what I said to myself. And if someone doesn't show up this year, that is okay because normally
Yeah.
when someone didn't show up, I would start panicking. I would start recording and I would just go, 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 go. And to such a point, and if I look back now, I was actually abusing my body.
Mm-hmm.
To such a point that I couldn't move. I couldn't walk from here to the bed because I was so tired. I couldn't, I was feeling sick. So for
Mm-hmm.
every woman listening today, don't push yourself beyond that boundary because now it's again learning to get into a habit of saying, slow down,
Mm-hmm.
just slow down because I was always rushing towards something. I don't know where I'm rushing off, but it must be this. And this year, if someone doesn't show up, that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's meant to be. God is protecting me. Something might have come up. let's just move on and go back to bed, lay flat,
Yes.
or even just exercising. I started exercising this year, and yesterday
Yeah.
I was busy stretching, and my husband wanted to start talking to me about things. I was like, no, go go inside. I am busy with my self-care hour.
Yes.
I want to hear you. And he was like, I said, you can sit with me while I'm stretching after I've
Mm-hmm.
exercised, but I don't want to hear you.
Yes.
I'm listening to my music. I don't want to hear you now. Afterwards,
Yes.
I can hear. And it's just that small things about taking care of ourselves because, like you said, we need to be the best versions of ourselves, especially if we are moms, because
Mm-hmm.
our children deserve the best
They
version,
deserve the best. They do.
especially if the ones I came out of an abusive childhood.
Mm-hmm.
And now it is taking care that my son never knows that experience. So it's you are right, you are right. We need to be the best versions of ourselves. And five
Yes.
minutes here or 10 minutes there,
Mm-hmm.
it's it's good. What inspired you to reclaim your voice, and how has that choice impacted your life?
What inspired me? Okay, so huh. I'm just thinking back as to when I decided. Okay, so from coming from the divorce, I when I was in divorce, I started journaling. That was a self-care avenue for me also. So I'll journal things that happened and what I've learned throughout the experience while I was in it. After the experience, I stopped journaling. I didn't want to write anything else more because I was dealing with myself and doing my self-discovery. And at a point, I knew I was going to do a book, but I needed to finish healing because it's best if it is that you're finished healing before you write something because it won't come off anger anymore, right? So afterwards, I decided to finish my book and I released it in 2020. So that is when, for me, I decided, okay, I need to now let people hear my voice. I've been quiet for a couple of years. It's time for people to hear and grow from it, and see that, hey, these experiences sometimes can be a twofold thing, can be a bad thing, be a good thing, but what can we learn from it? How can we grow? And from that time, I've been using my voice, I've been amplifying it, I've been speaking about different things, in terms of self growth, learning, tapping into God, tapping into what He's saying about you. He did not call you, to suffer. He has good things towards you. As my one of my favorite Bible verses, when I talk about Jeremiah 11, which talks about, for I know the plans I have for you, and God knows those plans that He have for you. So for me, it's okay if it is that God has given me a purpose, and my purpose is to help women who have been separated, divorced, going through a hard time in their marriage, being single, and they're unsure if they want to be married. I have that voice I can use and help them to get answers, or help to tell them to be a safe space that they can speak to, they can talk to about different avenues in their life. And I'm using my voice to do that, to help to bring healing to so many women life. And sometimes people look at it and say, oh, you're talking about this, and it's as if you don't have any regrets. I don't have any regret because God has brought me through it, and made me he has given me this path, and I'm alive today because I can now use the gift and the purpose that He has given me to know, help other women go through it and say, it's okay. It's okay to love yourself again. It's okay to find yourself again. And I have done it, and I've seen the greatness that God has done through me, even learning and getting in different spaces. And I believe every woman needs and deserves the same thing. So that's why I'm using my voice to speak and to help women and to just show women that you are enough. You are loved. You are enough. And you don't need validation from anybody else but God and yourself. Start loving yourself. That's it. That's what I want to use my voice to tell women.
How have setting boundaries empowered you to live a more authentic and fulfilling life?
Listen, I've learned about boundaries since in the past couple years. I was not good at setting boundaries. With boundaries now, I have to be intentional about it because if you don't set boundaries, you will burn out, right? So being intentional about setting boundaries and not feeling bad about it. Setting boundaries also includes saying no. So I've learned to say no, and I've learned to say no. I'm not gonna be able to do this. No, it's not a maybe, it's just a no. Because if I say maybe, then I'm going back and forth, and then I'm tired, and then I'm not able to do, and I'm working myself, I'm burning out and dying because of it, and I'm no longer gonna do that. Because the Bible also tells us to be wise. Um, so I'm going to be wise with my time. I'm going to be wise with my space. I want peace. Therefore, I set boundaries as to who comes in my space, what I do with my space, and who gets my time for my space, because my time and my space is very important to me. So setting that boundary has helped me to be clearer, to live a more peaceful life, and to love myself better. All about setting boundaries and all about doing better and being better for yourself.
What's one practice or mindset shift that has helped you embrace your worth unapologetically?
Affirmations. Affirmations and continuing to read the Bible. Affirming who I am in God, not just anybody else, has allowed me to be better and more confident in myself. I've been a confident person, but I've lost that over the years. So affirming myself, buying self-help books and affirming myself and believing in me, even when nobody else wants to believe in me, I believe in me. Even when you spoke about, sometimes people don't show up. And I know how that is. I'm a podcaster also. And I know how it is. I've been doing podcasts almost 5 years. I know how it is when people don't show up. At the beginning, it will deflate me. I've learned to, you don't show up, okay, we'll move on. Who is next? Because I believe if it is that, you know, I'm intentional about things and I pray about things and I say, God, if this person does not show up, or if it is I didn't even do that, but this person does not show up, okay, God, you have better for me, you have bigger for me. This person was not supposed to be on my podcast, and that's okay. This person was not supposed to be on my platform, and that's fine. Don't be disappointed by people not showing up into the purpose that you have. Not everybody sees your goal, not everybody sees your purpose. Not everybody also aligns with what you are doing and your brand. So I've been more confident in who I am in terms of affirming myself and believing what God has promised to me. Therefore, if God has promised it me, nobody not showing up ain't going to take it away from me. So that's what has helped me along the journey, even of being confident and affirming who I am.
Wow. I love it. You just made me so like, whew. I just love I love it. It's goosebumps all over me. So thank you so much for sharing that. What does Women's Day mean to you? And how do you celebrate the power and resilience of women in your life?
Women's Day. Can I tell you something? I don't generally celebrate Women's Day because I believe every day, the way women were impactful, and women are impactful.
Mm.
I believe that what we do cannot just be celebrated on a day, especially for moms. It's not just a day. It's every day that women are to be celebrated for what we do, for how we nurture, for how much we give. What? Um, I celebrate the women in my life every day because of their resilience, of how they thrive. Women carry so much, we do so much. It's as if we have tentacles where we're doing every and anything. Um, we don't have time to sit back when we're sick and feel sick. We don't have that time. We don't have that opportunity. We don't have that luxury. Especially when people have kids. There is no such time as yourself. There's no time as I don't know. For me, it's not just, I know they have Women's Day. I don't necessarily believe in it because I believe that every day is Women's Day. And every day women are to be celebrated for the gift that we get to do. and the gift that we get to give of taking care of. God has given us a purpose. Women are the only ones that have that purpose of taking care and nurturing, right? And I celebrate that every day. Every day.
I've asked someone else about this question because I feel exactly the same. We need to be celebrated every day. But I wanted to ask this question because so that the listeners can know that they don't have to wait for 8 March to feel
Mm-hmm.
that they are worthy. Once a
Mm-hmm.
year, feeling like, oh, some women don't even sit back on that day. But that
Okay.
it's just like one day that I have to say, oh, okay, I'm getting celebrated, I'm worthy. It is like you said, I love the speaker, like all each one that I've asked this question. No, we need to celebrate every one woman every day. And
Mhm.
that is the exact reaction that I wanted. So that this audience must know that they are worthy. Oh my goodness. Um, we are valuable. We are so important in this area. I mean, we've been seen to break generational curses. Do you
Exactly.
know
Mhm.
how extraordinary that is? It's like, whoo. I just love it when sometimes when self-doubt creeps in, I'm like, you know what? I've been seen to break generational curses. That is generations back. It is gonna
Mhm.
take a while. It is gonna be
Mhm.
a trial and error. Um,
Mhm. Mhm.
so yeah, we are the people that is on their healing journey, that is on the a journey of growth. We can actually say just a growth journey instead of a healing journey. Is
True.
we are you've been sent. You've
Yes.
you've definitely have been sent. If you could send one empowering message to women around the world today, what would it be?
I'm gonna jump off what you just said a while ago. So if I could say one important thing to women around the world, it would be take time to grow and heal. Don't let anyone force you to. Just realize that growing and healing helps you as an individual to be better instead of to be bitter and angry. Women are sometimes termed bitter and angry because we haven't dealt with our trauma, we haven't dealt with our pain, we haven't dealt with how we feel about ourselves. So take the time to grow and heal, bite by bite. Don't rush it. Take the time to do so because self-discovery, growing and healing it doesn't come overnight. It's something we have to work towards. And there's so many things in life that we have to work towards already, which includes this. So understand that this is more important than a job that you do. This is more important than family. This is more important than friendships. It is building you up, building your character, building up yourself to be a better version for you. You are important, you are valuable, you are loved. That's the last thing I want to leave with women all around the world. You may know it. You don't need to hear it from anyone to believe it. Believe it yourself, understand it, and know it. That you are valuable, you are important, and you are loved. So take time to grow and heal. Yes.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Um, and it is just amazing that if you don't believe it, and you might be in a situation where you don't believe in yourself yet, I don't know which side of the screen,
Mm-hmm.
or the woman who is believing in you until you find that strength within you to know your
Mm-hmm.
worth. There is women out there that is believing in you, that is cheering you on, that is there to empower you to say, you are not alone. We are here for you. We are fixing each other's crown until you can see what we see. Because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes we need to not steal, but how can I say this now? My Afrikaans brain is trying to take over. We are sometimes, I sometimes needed to have the authenticity, like mentors in your life or women, strong women in your life. You had to
Mm,
steal a little bit of their confidence so that you
mm,
start gaining your own confidence and learning from. And that's what Speak Up Queen is all about. It's a platform for women who might not feel that they are loved or valuable,
mhm,
but that they must know that we are here and we believe in them and
mhm,
they we are just here for them. And there's a tribe of women out there that are we are ready to welcome each woman in wherever they are in their life. We are
mhm,
there to meet them.
mhm,
Yeah.
mhm. Definitely.
The last question. What inspired you to say yes to being featured on Speak Up Queen? And what does this opportunity mean to you as a platform to share your story?
Okay, I mean, I have I had put myself on pause in terms of, going on interviews, etc. But when I saw this one pop, I was like, okay, these are good. These are good opportunity to start going back out there again. I have given myself enough time to sit back and just do interviews. But how about putting myself out there again and going back out there and speaking and encouraging and using the voice that God has given to me? So that's what pushed me actually to be on this platform. And I see that this platform, as I said, Speak Up Queens, is a way to speak into people's life, to affirm them, to let them know that they're enough. And these are platforms that I believe can be used to empower people, women all around the world. It doesn't matter race, it doesn't matter ethnicity, nothing. It's used to speak to people, speak into people's lives. You don't know what this platform may do for someone listening that may be on the verge of committing suicide or might be on the verge of being in depression. Just us speaking into women's life is important, and I think you're doing a great job while doing that. I think you have a great platform, and I think you should continue using it to even affirm women, to let them know their God-given purpose and their God-given talents. And I think that as a phenomenal job that you have here going on, where you are only directed to women, because sometimes people feel like women know it all, we have it all, we don't need that affirmation. We do need it. And I think you have given them the great platform for it. So thank you so much for that.
Oh, ah, you had me a few times in tears this morning. I don't know why, but it's just like you are speaking to my soul, and I am like,
Yeah.
I needed that affirmation. You see, and that's what Speak Up Queen is all about. It's not just um me knowing everything because I don't know everything and I don't want to know everything, to be honest.
Mhm.
But it is about having a safe space for women all around the world, sharing their stories boldly or just being a guide for women. And that's not just me because I can't do this without any one of you. I can't um I don't want to speak alone on the podcast. That might be so
Mhm.
lonely and so boring if someone
Yes.
has to hear my voice every episode. But it's all about having women that God sent into my life. Because when I started this podcast, I just said, Lord, lead the way. I don't know anything about it, just lead the way. And
Hmm.
um, just knowing that this is a place for women to, because how can I say, someone might align with me, someone might align with you, and that's my whole purpose of Speak Up Queen. I want women to go, and if they are aligning with you, and if they are like me, my heart and my cup is full, I want them to reach out and I want them to say, I'm struggling with this because there's no competition in Speak Up Queen. There's no competition in this world. I think for such a long time, society has pushed us to be in a competition with each other. Oh, you're too thin, you're too fat. You are this, you are that. And we were putting in different frames.
Hmm.
While now, in the last 2 years after COVID, and I must say, COVID was for me a blessing because I've learned how to go online and find my community. I found my community, and it is attracting. We are attracting these amazing women. So just to have platforms where we as women can come together and not try, inspire and uplift other women. Oh my word. Just think about the end of 2025, how much growing and positivity and confident women can start building their empires on their past.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, Jade, thank you so much for sharing your powerful and inspiring story with us today. Your journey reminds us of the strength and courage it takes to heal, grow, and thrive. To everyone tuning in, remember your voice and your story have the power to inspire and create change. If today's episode resonated with you, don't forget to subscribe, comment, and share it with someone who needs this message. Until next time, Queens, keep speaking up and embracing in your power.